see Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints taking on Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Get a look at this Seahawk offense as they come out there, and the quarterback brought in as part of that big offseason trade, now in his 4th NFL season, Drew Lock.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. On play action, Lock. And this one is incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lock. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 20 carries, 64 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now it's Carson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And that will be incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the 1st down carry. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. He's going to have the first down and then some. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On third down, Winston. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up fourth down. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you could see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
And everyone on their assignment defensively there as he'll be taken down behind the line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. No score after one on EA Sports. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Lock going to throw. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Here's Lock to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw it is Lock. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they're going to get this up to midfield. From midfield, here's Lock. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Again, it's Lock. Out to the right to Humphries. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Carson. Shoves him aside. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
They go back to Carson here on 2nd. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring out a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
They run for it with Carson. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Saints will have the football back. So an interesting decision at this stage of the game to go for it. You think maybe that missed field goal earlier had anything to do with it?
If it did, I'm really surprised because usually one miss is not enough to alter your game plan. My only thought is maybe he got hurt or maybe they just understand that it's not his day for some other reason we don't know right now. But in general situations, you run him back out there and let him have another chance.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Winston now.
That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here's Ezigbo.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Winston's throw taken in by Landry.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
Even in a down year statistically, Juice Landry still produced over 50 catches to lead Cleveland in his final season there. A milestone awaits Landry, though, this season. He's almost a lock to jump into the top 50 all-time for receptions. One of those goes for a first down this time.
And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Now Jones. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Winston. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints.
Deontay Hardy in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So the potential could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A final shot before half for Locke.
He'll look downfield for Humphreys.
His throw incomplete. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send John over to our...
Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half.
Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seahawks with a 1st and 10. Locke gets ready to go at their own 28-yard line. Coming up in prime time here in Week 5, a couple of division rivalries on the docket, beginning tonight in the AFC North with the Bengals and Ravens from Baltimore at 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Raiders and Chiefs from Arrowhead in the AFC West. This is Carson. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Block now to throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
They fake the handoff. Now Locke. Over the middle. That's caught by Metcalf. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Play action. Now it's Locke. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Locke. And his throw is incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
That is caught at the 7. Touchdown, Seahawks. Noah Fant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from drawing level. Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 60 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 3rd quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. They look to throw. It's Locke. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with this 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Locke. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That was the safety, Marcus May, who got the sack there. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
A field goal from this spot would be 51 yards. They'll try to move it closer on 3rd down. Now Locke. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. So on now comes the kicker. It's Jason Myers. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Myers' kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. They run with a Zigbo. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They go play action. Winston. He spots Landry, who makes a really nice catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
They'll run. It's a Zigbo. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Winston. That's caught by a Zigbo. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So they'll try to move the ball closer here on third down. A field goal from this spot would be just inside of 60 yards, 59 to be exact. Here's Winston. This complete to Jones. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Winston to throw. And this is caught. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. Well, Charles, I know you have a lot of questions. So do I about the decision there at the end. It had the potential game-time field goal. Yes, it would have been a long field goal, but they passed it up, and they lose the game.
And you're right, partner. We all have questions, but I don't think anyone's going to ask the question more forcefully than the person who signs the checks for the entire organization. Why didn't you run the field goal kicker out there? You had a chance to tie the game. Looked like a makeable kick. Was the kicker hurt? Did you just not like the field conditions? This head coach is going to have a heck of an explanation.
So for the Seahawks, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.